Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius and Anucauskas. Today is the 10th of the 10th, so the 10th of October 2019. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Also, just a very quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel here, which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, but specifically our JFD Research tab here, which you can click on and go into our research page, where you can have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. And yep, I believe you can find a lot of useful stuff here. So for now, guys, yep, feel free to visit us on jfdbank.com. But for now, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the FTSE 100. Now, probably this was my favorite index last week. Excuse me. But this week it's a little bit more on the boring side. But today we do have some data coming out from the UK, so we got some GDP figures. So we'll keep an eye on that, and so that's why, guys. For now, like I said, for now what we're gonna do here is we're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna make or should I say, keep an eye on some of our key areas of support and resistance. So in a way, the one that I'm highlighting here right now, this was that key area of support that I talked about last week, from which the index kind of reversed back to the upside here and managed to reach the area near the 7,200 zone. Maybe just overshot it a little bit by a few points, but still kind of got held here near this territory. So it actually managed, and this is the level that it managed to reach this week, was around the 7,224-25 zone. So this is what we're going to be keeping an eye on today and tomorrow as well. Of course, don't forget that we do have still or not still, but today and tomorrow we do have the US-China trade talks. So there will be some meetings held. We don't expect any surprises from there. Maybe some sort of small deals could be achieved, but still, to be honest, the tensions are there, and we don't believe that there could be major progress in there. So, but again, of course, let's see how that comes out. But looking at the FTSE here, in order for us to kind of aim for higher levels, ideally we would like to see a push above the this week's high near the 7,224-25 zone, and only then we will aim for initially we'll aim for the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, and then the next potential target could be around the 7,350 territory. Excuse me, guys, my voice is going down. So that's what we're going to be doing here, guys. So for now, we're not going to be touching this in any way, because it's at a very tricky spot. It could at the same time travel lower, and if it does drop below the 7,140 territory here, which is the low of the low of this week and the low of yesterday, which we saw here during the European trading session, then yep, we will see a further slide here, possibly maybe moving back down towards the this key area of support, just slightly above the psychological 7,000 level, around the 7,045 and 7,020 zones. So this kind of little territory right here. But again, in order for us to consider such a move, well, we would need to see that drop below the 7,140 zone. So that's why, guys, for now, keep your eyes on this one. And of course, on the upside, we need to see a clear push above this resistance area and the 7,224.25 zone before we could examine slightly higher levels. Jumping into gold, I've talked about this one this week, and basically what I was saying that even if we see a push back above the 1495 zone, because this is where it was around Monday time, so we were kind of trading already below it. But what I was saying that even if it travels above to the upside here, if it fails to move above the upper side of this falling channel that the commodity is currently trading in, then we could see another round of selling in a way, because for us to get comfortable with higher levels, well, to be honest, a few levels would need to be cleared. So initially, basically, not only did we need to see a push above the upper side of the falling channel, but also a push above the 1520 territory here. Now, previously I had the 1525, but given that the commodity kind of moved a little bit here and is still trading below this downside line inside the falling channel formation, we can shift our kind of potential breakout point here, because in a way, if this travels higher first, it'll break the upper side, and then if it moves above the 1520, now this is where we could get a little bit more excited with the upside. So again, guys, for now, these are the levels to watch for the upside. As long as it remains inside the channel, we will continue aiming to the downside. So in a way, of course, at this point in time here, it would be a little bit too risky, let's say, because in a way it could also move higher here. But if it starts falling again below the 1500 level, and this is, by the way, we could actually shift this a little bit because we have to redraw this one, and this needs to be adjusted. So basically, if it starts falling below the 1500 or the 1499 territory here, then yes, this is where we will get excited about the downside again a little bit, because our initial target will be around, and let me just quickly put this one on the chart. So our initial target will be around here, around this little low that we saw this week, and that's around the 1487 territory. So if we get a nice good test of this 1499 zone, and if it fails to withhold, then yep, a drop below this could lead towards a test of the low of this week, which is around the 1487. But don't forget that this is gold that we're talking about, so in a way this could be headline driven, and if we do get some sort of progress from or should I say lack of progress from the trade talks, or even it could, let's say, worsen a little bit, then we could see gold spiking, and this is where this level here, the 1520, would come in. If there is some progress and if there is some good development out of the trade talks, maybe we could see, like I said, gold sliding further down. But from the technical perspective, we will wait for a drop below the psychological 1500 1499 zone here, because this way the precious metal would also be below its 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart. So keep your eyes on that one. Quick mentioning of AUDNZD. I've talked about this one yesterday in my traders tea time, and basically I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this potential veg formation. So as according to the textbooks, such formations tend to break to the upside. We did have a break to the upside, but what I was saying that in order to continue aiming higher, we would need to see a good clear push above the 1.0690 level here, and we did get that push, but we never got the close, at least of a 4-hour candle, because that's what we need here. And you can see that the pair is kind of currently balancing below this 1.0690, but it's still above the formation here that it broke out of. So in a way, there's still a bit of a chance for the bulls to jump in here, but to be honest, where we will get excited is still on this break, because this way the pair would also push above the 200 EMA. And to be honest, ideally we would like to see a 4-hour candle close here, at least of a 4-hour candle, before before we could aim for the 1.0726 territory, which is a fantastic area of resistance, because we'll keep an eye on that one first, because if it holds and the rate slides back down, so we could be forming somewhat of a range here. So in a way, something like this could be possible here. So let me just quickly put this one on the chart. There we go. So something like this, basically, we could be getting ourselves. So that's why, for now, guys, we are not gonna try to predict this one too much. First, if we get a push above the 1.0690, then yep, we will aim for slightly higher levels, only up until here, up until the 1.0726, and then we'll take it from there. See what it wants to do. Maybe it wants to break it and move higher. That's good, but if it struggles, then we could see somewhat of a range here later on. But keep your eye in terms of the downside, we need to see a drop below the 1.0660 before aiming for slightly lower levels. NZDJPY. NZDJPY is, I talked about this one yesterday in my traders tea time as well. And what I was saying, that in order for us to aim higher, we need to see a clear move above the 67.89 zone. I do apologize, guys, for my voice today. So I need to clear that before probably the start of the video. But anyway, coming back to the pair, NZDJPY. So like I said, we needed to see a nice good push above this. But again, for that extra confirmation of the upside, that's the level that we're looking out here for, the 68.26. And I do understand that we're missing a bit of a move here, but to be honest, this way, if we get a push above the 68.26, which is the high of the 27th of September, this would also place the rate above its 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, and we could see a nice good move here higher, more bulls joining in potentially, and pushing the rate towards the 68.7980 territory, which is the high of the 17th of September. So now I do have my arrow here dragged all the way towards the 69.69 zone here. That's the high of the 12th of September. That's our ideal target, but again, before we could see a possible move to that ideal target, we need to see a push above the 68.26 zone first. In terms of the downside, a pretty straightforward and conservative approach here. A drop below the 67.31 could in a way do the trick here for the sellers, and we could see this one initially sliding towards the 66.90, or even going further a little bit down towards the 66.61 zone. So we'll keep an eye on these two potential breakout points, guys. For now, like I said, this is what to watch, and probably we better stay safe than jump in too early, guys. So that's why keep your eyes on these two levels. Let me just adjust this very quickly. There we go. USDSEK. Now, something that you probably don't look at very often, but we do have some Canadian data coming out. Swedish data coming out today. We do have the CPI, the inflation numbers here from Sweden. So in a way, it's worthwhile to watch this pair. We could see a bit of nice movement here on the on USDSEK. So in a way, for now, the pair kind of is climbing higher. It's trading above a few of the tentative upside lines, but one of the steeper ones here is this one, taken from the low of the 24th of September. So for now, we're going to keep an eye on this one. We're going to keep an eye on this upside line, and of course, we're going to keep an eye on this area right here, this potential resistance barrier near the 9.9645, or in a way you could round it up towards the 9.9650. So a nice good pop above this could in a way open the path towards higher levels. Now, don't get me wrong, looking at the daily chart here, we are quite overbought even on the daily chart. So in a way, and the levels where we are at right now, and I need to scroll for this one for quite a while now, and probably I need to jump in into a weekly chart on this one. So you can see that we are currently at the levels that we last saw in 2002, in around May time, so 2002. So good potential levels. Of course, looking at the weekly chart here, you can see how well this has traveled since this reversal, the strong reversal in January 2018, and kind of we have been kind of climbing higher steeply here. So in a way, for now, looking back, jumping back into a 4-hour chart. For now, what we're going to do here is, if we're going to see a nice good push above this 9.9650, then yep, we will aim for the psychological 10 zone first, and then we'll take it from there. See what he wants to do after. But if it starts dropping below this upside line, below this area of support around the 9.91 or should I say 9.92 territory here, or to be honest, actually, in a way, this break could come earlier, before the break of the upside line. So in a way, we will aim for this level right here. Now this is a bit of a conservative one, but just probably for extra confirmation, the 9.8740 zone. So a nice good drop below this could in a way open the path towards lower areas. We will then aim for the this key area of support near the 9.8265 zone, and then we'll take it from there. Because like I said, for now, these are the two levels that we're going to be keeping a close eye on. So in terms of the upside, we will keep an eye on the 9.9650 zone, and then aim for the psychological 10 area. And in terms of the downside, we'll wait for a drop below this upside line, and ideally we'd like to see a drop below the 9.8740 zone right here, and only then aim for lower levels. USDCAD, I talked about this one yesterday in my traders tea time as well, and this is what I was talking about basically. We may see a move higher. We got our move higher, but we managed to break the downside line, this tentative downside line, which to be honest no longer is valid, and we managed to reach our target here at 1.3348 zone. Well, almost managed to reach that, but this was basically the barrier that I was talking about. So that we need before examining higher levels. We're not going to aim for higher levels until we see a clear break above this one, guys. So for now, keep your eyes on this one. And again, with this pair, you know, I would like to say that I would like to get to see a close at least of a 4-hour candle above this, but we've seen that happening many times. So probably I'll say that we need to wait for a daily close at least. And even then, we've seen this pair kind of closing above key levels, but then quickly reversing in the other direction. So that's why for now, probably what you could do is just wait for a break above the 1.3348, have a tight stop loss, and try to kind of aim for this next potential target here at 1.3382 zone. So we'll keep an eye on this one. In terms of the downside, we'll wait for a drop below the 1.3284 before we could, let's say, aim for slightly lower levels. We're not going to drag this one too much to the downside, but we'll aim for slightly lower areas. Maybe the ideal, of course, area would be around here, the 1.32 zone, but we'll be very careful with this as well. We'll have a very tight stop loss just in case this suddenly reverses back to the upside, as it did a few times here. So that's why, guys, be very careful with this pair. Euro NZD, I just wanted to quickly run this one by you guys. Basically, something similar is happening like with the AUDNZD here, but probably it's more of a triangle than a wedge, and this is what I just wanted to show you guys. So basically the pair is kind of coiling up right now, so it's getting into a squeeze and probably preparing itself for a nice pop, either a pop to the upside, either a break to the downside here. So that's why keep an eye on this one. I just wanted to kind of run it by you. Keep an eye on some of the levels. In a way, a few levels that you could keep an eye on is, of course, the yesterday's high here near the 1.75 territory, just slightly below that, and a nice good break above this upper side of the triangle, and then a push above the 1.75 territory could in a way do the trick for more buyers, and we could then aim for this level here initially, the 1.7550, approximately around there, or even better, the little high here that we had on the 20th of September, and that's around the 1.7616 zone. So again, that's the kind of upside scenario here. We'll keep an eye on it, but if it starts breaking the downside here, for us to get slightly more comfortable with lower levels, I drop below this 1.7350 zone, 50 approximately around there, could in a way do the trick, and we could aim for the next potential area of support around here near the low of the 26th of September, and that's around the 1.73 zone, maybe just slightly below that a little bit. So keep your eyes on that one. Euro USD again continues to trade in a range here roughly between the 1.0940 and the 1.10 psychological 1.10 zone. So this is what I was talking about. So basically, I was talking about this one. I was talking about this one for the whole week basically now, and in yesterday, what I mentioned that in a way it could continue moving sideways here, trading kind of all the way here up until it automatically reaches the downside line here, the short-term, or should I say medium-term downside resistance line taken from the high of June, and and decide if the bulls decide to enter here, we could see a nice break above the 1.10 zone, and basically this psychological 1.10 kind of could act as a potential this breakout point. So all it would look very nice here technically, but still we'll stick to our guns and we'll wait for a push above the 1.1024 area, because this way not only that the pair would be above its downside line, but also above its 200 EMA and above some of these other highs. So above this high of the 24th of September, and this way we could aim for higher levels then. So that's why, guys, for now we're going to remain neutral and going to continue observing this one because still for us even to consider a downside, a drop below the 1.0940 43 zone, that's what we need to see in order to kind of aim for the 1.09 zone or a little bit lower. So keep your eyes on these two areas. GBP USD, the last one, of course, very important today. Keep your eyes on this level here, this key area of support near the 1.22 zone. We do have, like I said, as mentioned in the beginning of the video, we do have the GDPs coming out. So in a way, a nice good drop below this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we could then target areas around the 1.2137 or even this little intraday swing high of the around the 1.210605 zone. So good potential target here. About a 100 pip move roughly, and so yep, guys, for now keep your eyes on this one, keep your eyes on this level here, the 1.22 zone. If we get a nice drop, then yep, we could see a further decline. In terms of the upside, we will aim for the 1.2274 75 territory. A nice good pop above this could in a way open the path towards slightly higher levels, but probably to get a little bit more excited with the upside here, ideally a push above the 1.2335 zone could in a way do the trick here, and as this would place the rate above all of its EMAs, and we could aim for the 1.2410 zone here, which acted also as a fantastic area of resistance a while ago. So keep your eyes on some of these levels, guys. Like I said, we do have some data coming out. Check your economic calendars, and let's see how this is going to play out. But for now, our main kind of scenario is more to the downside, but we need some confirmation here. We need that strong break below the 1.22 zone. So keep your eyes on this one. Okay, guys, I really hope you found it useful. I have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and if you want to join me later on at my Traders Tea Time, that's 13:15 GMT. We'll have a look at how some of these instruments have performed, and yep, we'll take it from there. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.